So what's the explanation? This deck frequently won before the first turn. Amulet Vigor, Summer Bloom. Yep. That's totally legit. I believe it. For this reason, Summer Bloom was banned. They're also trying to here make arguments that the deck could still work with Amulet and Azusa. Azusa being a replacement for Summer Bloom, but is slightly less efficient. Won't have frequent turn 3 wins. Okay. And then where do they talk about Twin? We wondered what one would do with Congress Splinter Tech Splinter Twin ban. In the case of Jessica, very similar deck builds. In other cases, Kiki's a replacement. In the interest of community diversity, Splinter Twin is banned for Modern. Wow. So trying to expand diversity. That's why they decided to ban. So Summer Bloom was winning too quickly, and so the gist is, okay, here's the gist. The Summer Bloom deck, or Bloom Titan, was winning too quickly for Modern, and they want to improve the diversity. That's why they banned Pod. The same reason. Diversity. Conrad, can you explain how to be a mod again? On my channel? You have to apply. So Conrad, write me a Twitch message. If you know how to write Twitch messages, like the message inbox, you know how to go there? I'll give you the link. Write me a nice message, basically applying for the position. Kind of tell me why you think that you're good for the position. This goes out to everybody in the channel. If you think you're mod material and want to be here and do it, it is a privilege, but I do appreciate it. Here you go. So do a Twitch message, compose, spawn a virtue, subject, moderatorship, moderino, whatever, something that lets me be like, oh yeah, this is a mod app. Tell me a little bit about yourself, tell me about your magical background, why you want to be a mod for the channel, and yeah, maybe a first name would be nice. You don't have to. We don't have to be on a first name basis if you don't want. We can just use our usernames. I can just be Spawn, you can be Smelly Jim or Conrad. It says Twin is banned for diversity, you don't think that's right? Yeah, it's Smelly Jim, you know, I mean, it's very possible that they shouldn't have. There are also a lot of flavors of Splinter Twin. We've seen Blue-White Red Twin, we've seen Timir Twin, we've seen Grixis Twin, a lot of different flavors of Twin. Glad to see Twin go, such a boring combo. Is it Kappa though? It's not really gone though. Just the redundancy is gone. The deck may still be, the deck will probably still exist. It'll probably just become more controlling. I think the better shell now would be, instead of a speed one, would probably be, if you guys remember, there was a blue-white-red Kiki control that was pretty popular, but a lot of people opted for the pure blue-red Twin just because it had the Blood Moon sideboard potential, kind of like a Blue Moon feel, except those are very different lists. But long story short, I think we could see a reemergence of the true Kiki control blue-white-red style with Restoration Angel plus Kiki Jiki. They're both fine on their own. They're actually quite powerful on their own. The hard part, of course, is the fixing for that deck. It's horrendous. You have to run, like, Cascade Bluffs, maybe even multiple Cascades. Yeah, Splinter Twin was banned, Talladega as well as Summer Bloom. Banned Pestermite. Well, Deceiver Exarch is the one that doesn't get bolted, color red. White Moon Kiki Resto. There you go. Did not expect a ban on Twin is the definition of turn 4 combo. Well, their reasoning wasn't that it was on, like, Gickman. It wasn't a matter of speed, because Twin follows the speed that they want for Modern, whereas Bloom didn't, so that was why they banned Bloom. Bloom was making the Titan deck too quick, in their opinion. But their reasoning for Twin was that to improve diversity, they felt as though they were seeing too much Twin. We only have 3 mountains in this yet. I've seen several games where we just like draw all the mountains and none of the swamps. It's crazy. Tron is now on top now, probably. Maybe Jund gets better. I don't know. Could be that Jund gets better. Yeah, Jund has some trouble if they can't disrupt Bloom Titan. For sure. Killing Azusa is easier than dealing with... I mean, they can't counter a Summer Bloom, so... They say that a deck does not have to be strong or oppressive, it just has to be too consistent. Grishel Brand still has all the pieces. You think it's that? You think it's Eldrazi? Guys, why don't we just be the cool kids club and play something totally different? Think about it. Both of those matchups were hard for me, by the way. Maybe my deck gets better. What about our Ascendancy list? What about our Glittering Ascendancy? Maybe this gets better now. That's exciting. Although we might see more Abrupt Decays flying around, in which case we need to add more face shields. Maybe this deck gets better now. That Twin is a little less fast. Because sometimes we just need one more turn, man. Millimeter basic? I don't play Warmer. Although I've seen some people enjoy that. Maybe I could get into it. I don't know. Warmer big. You have to get the avatar first, I think. So here's the wish board. You got Scarscale Ritual. This is your draw 2. This is your bread butter. This is kind of your go-to card when you're going off. We get it a lot. Ascendancy is an obvious pick. A second Ascendancy can be huge. This is a nice finisher if you're up against especially something like a Snaring Bridge or you're pressed for time. Moto, this loop can take a long time. Hydroform is a wishable tapper. Fire Spout is a wishable sweeper. And Reborn Hope just gives the deck redundancy. It allows us to have a second copy of Ritual. It gives you a second, more copies of Ascendancy. It gives you more copies of Fire Spout. It gives you more copies of any of the multicolored creatures in the deck, or multicolored things. So that's pretty neat. Thought you were gonna play a new format. No. I was just talking about how I think my mono deck might have gotten better. This deck is a lot of fun to play. I do not recommend it to someone who's not willing to learn it and learn how to get through all the triggers without timing out. We did have some timeout issues when I first built the deck and was playing it at first. We had somebody very generously donate us an idyllic tutor. Alright, last match of the night. Oh jeez. I got this. Turn 1 Seer into turn 2 Bloodthird into turn 3 Pod if you want to. Right, turn 1 Seer. Koshu the draw. Depending on the matchup, that's not something terrible to see. Landing turn 1 Bizarre Seer can make my opponent's obvious removal much. Okay. Red control. Let's do it. Get this. Siege is great in this matchup. If we can stick it. It's a matter of sticking it. What do you got? You want to burn this? I'll scry if you do. I didn't think so. You care about this? What about a little bit of that? You want to counter this? No? Okay. Not interesting. Because we go straight to Siege next turn, I kind of like slamming the pod at the cost of life points. Doesn't seem like he's an aggressive list at all. Take 2. Feel as though this is the place for pod. If he counters it, he counters it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He didn't. He chose not to. So maybe our line changes now. Maybe we want to pod up the chain and pull up the list. Oblivion Ring? Oblivion Ring the pod? What's your target? Pod? Sure. We can win without it. Don't force spike me, bro, when I slam this siege. That would be sad. That would be very sad. That would be sad for us. We've drawn enough lands to hardcast the Kikoshi this match. That's good. I mean, or not good. I mean, that's a lot of land. So let's stick the siege, or hope that the siege sticks. I mean, it could be days, could be force spike. We are going to name cons here because we don't have enough dudes on board to merit the dragons. I think we do want the card advantage because I don't have a play next turn. Like, we'll have 5 mana. This gives us another chance to top like an Ob Nixilis, which is pretty sweet. See, it'll be fine. So, outpost. I would definitely consider casting this, especially since I don't have another play. Well, Gickman, a lot of their bans haven't been directed at that particular format recently. Oh, interesting. That might be huge for us. He just used an exclude on the Sakura tribe, yet we have the Kokoshu in hand. If he taps out here for something like a walker, we can slam Kokoshu and not look back. Kokosho. Kokosho, of course, feels pretty good when you have a Vizera Seer. Venser. Okay, so holding up potential with counter magic. But, you know, he may or may not have it. I think it's pressure the Venser. Let's see what we draw, though. It might change my mind for sequencing. Alright, looks like somebody applied. I have a new message. Cool. Liliana. Lily. Do you want to play around, like, some of the soft permission in the format? Like, you could go Lily first. Lily here potentially prompts a, I'm going to play the burden. Lily here prompts the opponent to maybe, could prompt a counterspell. Decides. It's cool. Could be soft permission. I mean, we did leave up 3. Venser. Do you pump to hit this Vence? And then flip the Lily? He could answer the Lily. Be reactive with Lily. Wait to see if he has a board sweep. And then flip her in response to it. I think we lose a lot of the value with the Liliana should I go for the aggressive flip. Now, we have 2 creatures to sacrifice, and they are each sacrificing engine creatures, so we technically could have multiple Liliana triggers. I don't think that makes multiple zombies, though, but maybe he's just flooding out. I don't know, I hope so. This matchup should be tough if he's got good cards. I mean, he excluded a Sakura tribe, so... Right, image... He wants to image the Lily? Okay. Shriekmaw's not terrible. It's better than my average draw. I'm not cracking the bird. So do you want him to copy the Vizera Seer or the zombie? I don't think we care. Could also just leave him with nothing to copy. It's also a play. Just leave him with nothing to copy. Because, like, whatever he copies, we can't kill with the Seer. I mean, there are stronger draws in our deck than the Shriekmaw on this board if we're gonna, like, basically virtually kill this Phantasmal. It looks something like you crack the Catacombs. I had to change of heart. I kind of want to make this Phantasmal do nothing. Alright, so we will sack the zombie now. Necrotal. Necrotal's good too. Like, what am I specifically looking for? We need to be careful that I don't just like start, bottoming all these reasonable cards. Necrotal is going to kill a lot of the threats that the opponent could have. So would have Shriekmaw, and Shriekmaw was a better clock. So, like, I feel like I'm trading almost for a worse card here. Stormbreath. Actually, that's what we want. Yeah, there are still some better, or Abyssal Persecutor.